Hello and welcome to Summer Duel here, a classic Spring Commander Forged Lands 3599, featuring Sir Louis, perhaps the greatest player to play this game, taking on Chop Suey. I'm not actually sure who this is currently. Pretty sure it's somebody Smurf, but I should know who it is. Probably somebody like Crazed. Playing EEF versus EEF, so that should be very interesting. Of course, Summer Duel, one of the smallest maps you can have. Three passages through which you can attack, two on the high ground, of course one down the middle. So unlike Winter Duel was just a single passage, here you can go in three directions, which makes for some very interesting gameplay. You can see a couple more power generators. These are all close together for Chop Suey. Great bombing opportunity, but of course on 3599 the bomber is a little more expensive. Going after Hydra, single engineer. Looks like Sir Louis is going to help out the Hydra with the ACU second land. Looks like a raider here, close to the middle. A scout going out to the outside. Of course, here on this map, a lot of reclaim in the corners. Two scouts for Sir Louis either direction. Mech Marines for Chop Suey. Now these Mech Marines should do damage against the scout, although they're retreating now. They're waiting for their scout of their own. And up on top, a Mech Marine from Chop Suey almost kills a scout, but now it's going to run into a tank. Sir Louis gets that first kill. Here's a scout that retreated, but two Mech Marines here at the back door might take on a single tank. This is a good raider here from Sir Louis, although costing him quite a bit of power. Third air from Sir Louis. First two land, and Chop Suey going to the top, it seems, with the ACU. And now we just saw, actually we just missed, two Mech Marines versus a tank win, but a second tank is going to clean it up. Hero tank with 3 kills. And up on top is still a scout that's alive from Sir Louis. Should be killed by a tank. So both players being pretty aggressive with the early, actually really only Chop Suey being aggressive. Good defense from Sir Louis with the tanks. Yet another line factory is not going to produce tanks. Total of 4 line factories for Suey. Here we got the air factory, just made a single interceptor. It's just going to be used as a scout, it seems. Can't really afford any more air. Sir Louis getting more power with his ACU. More aggressive ACU for Chop Suey, getting the it's another air factory. Total of 6 land factories. We're seeing a force here up on the top. Basically all tanks, no artillery yet. Sir Louis retreating, and now he's got numbers. And yeah, Chop Suey just ran into a superior force there. Sir Louis drawing him in, getting the victory. Total air domination by Sir Louis, and he's got a third bomber now coming out. Sir Louis going through the middle with his ACU. Chop Suey is going to retreat to defend against the ACU. Bombers attacking pigeons, which should not be all close together. And now some flak coming out for Chop Suey. Second bomb, one more bomb, and 60 power will be lost for Chop Suey. And here we got a better force now for Chop Suey. Sir Louis should just retreat, but Chop Suey will be pretty careful this time. We also see bombers. So bombers together with an inferior force. 3 bombers now for Sir Louis. Might make this a little more even. And in the middle, Sir Louis and Chop Suey will now finally meet each other. Pretty similar forces. Sir Louis begins to shoot units. Chop Suey, that was a nice overcharge. Both players begin to shoot units. And nothing happening on the top. We do see a secondary fight here on the bottom. Suey with 12 kills, Sir Louis with 1. Very surprising that it's only 1 kill in the bombers. Gotta say, one big difference, Sir Louis with those bombers did a lot of damage. But now interceptors for Chop Suey will put an end to that. Suey with 18 kills, Sir Louis with 1. 20 kills, so veterancy for Chop Suey. You also see artillery now for Sir Louis. And Sir Louis successfully gets past his force. A couple tanks, got 5 tanks now moving in. They try to take out this factory. We see a split for Sui, put some units back on top. Sir Louis is not going to want to leave this position. Chop Suey getting an upgrade right in the face of Sir Louis' ACU. Be very surprised if he finishes this. It's a pretty ballsy upgrade. Successful defense here for Chop Suey. She should also pick up all that mass. And of course, whenever you see somebody do this to you, you just get some arty and start shooting at them. Want to take out that engineer. It looks like now Chop Suey pulling all of his units back, and a cancel on that upgrade. It's a bit of wasted resources there for Chop Suey. Engineer is up on top. Absolutely nothing happening there. And an NG here for Chop Suey is going to take all that mass. Sir Louis retreating, 7 kills. Chop Suey 29. And a whole bunch of wrecks. And looks like Sir Louis has to run for his life, which means Chop Suey is going to get a massive prize. He already got an engineer. Actually, great play from both these players. I haven't really seen too many mistakes, except minor, very minor mistakes. But a huge victory for Chop Suey. This is so much mass. You can count each one of these about 50 mass. Probably got nearly 1,000, probably over 1,000 mass just sitting there for Suey. See, a lot of factories are actually paused here for Sir Louis. 14 kills. And he has nothing up on the top, so both players, instead of fighting through 2 different channels, now fighting through the middle. Sir Louis trying to steal some of this mass. A radar for Chop Suey. Chop Suey 30 kills. Sir Louis 14 begins to retreat once again. Interceptors for Sir Louis. Dead even map control, I gotta say. Gotta get some of these mass extractors though finished. For Chop Suey, looks like they were destroyed, but that's really not a problem. So much reclaim here at come up middle 11. Chop Suey 2,500 reclaim. Sir Louis 1,500. And one thing that's surprising, neither player, well, no, just Sir Louis forgot to reclaim his free rocks there. I mean, there's no problem getting those. So a bit of an interceptor fight that Sir Louis has won. Some sneaky units here. These tanks got the range to shoot down. They will take out that mass extractor. That's nice. The response here from Sir Louis, but the middle has been taken over by Chop Suey, finally getting that upgrade. Let's see if Sir Louis lets him get it this time. And Tech 2 now from Sir Louis. And where is this coming from? Tech 2 factory right there. Tech 2 engineer. He's got a shield. And perhaps a bit of a Tech 2 PD creep. Of course, on this map, Tech 2 point defense is extremely powerful because they have a huge range. Here you can see the range on this. Get a couple of them on these hills and you can shoot anywhere on the map. Looks like a successful raid has happened for Chop Suey. A response from Sir Louis. Some more wrecks now for Sir Louis. Very surprising Sir Louis doesn't take free mass. He's got massive deficit. And now a big force coming in. Sir Louis is going to have to play a lot of defense. Of course, Tech 2, couple of Tech 2 point defenses plus a shield should put him in a good position. Chop Suey now with Tech 2 engineering on the AC. He's going to get a Tech 2 point defense of his own. And here maybe a bit of a mistake from Chop Suey pushing in. I guess he wanted to give his ACU the chance to make this Tech 2 point defense. But he has just fed Sir Louis with a whole bunch of units. You can see 13 kills in the Tech 2 point defense. And not too many losses probably for Sir Louis. He didn't really lose this shield this entire battle. Another Tech 2 point defense now coming up. And a Sparky. So people used to love Sparkies. It's great to see. And a successful Tech 2 point defense creep here. Multiple Tech 2 point defenses going up. On maybe finally a fight here up on top. Haven't seen one here in the first 13 minutes. The bottom, a couple tanks controlling it for Chop Suey. Still a free mass there for Sir Louis. I guess that's the only mistake this entire game I've seen. 23 kills for Sir Louis. Chop Suey of 32. Tech 2 engineering, multiple Tech 2 point defenses. Of course, shields very crucial in these Tech 2 point defense standoffs. See, the air factory is paused. Minimal power for these players, and that's really the type of games we don't see in Forge Alliance Forever anymore. Players playing with minimal power, because now you gotta get that overcharge. And since you get all that excess power, which means you can produce much more air, but a lot less air in these games. A lot more teching. 4 Forge Alliance forever. Sir Louis reclaims one of his dead protected point defenses. This is becoming a very formidable force now. We might see some mobile missile launchers soon for either player. Very effective against UEF with not such a good TMD. Sir Louis was freaking out there, or tweaking out. Let's see if he does that again. That's what happens when you get really close to a unit that you're building. You get really excited, try to get it done really quick, and then you just start twitching out like that, and the unit gets built, and you build another one. But so far, Chop Suey total domination in the middle. In terms of teching, I haven't really paid attention to that. A couple of Tech 2 mass extractors for Sir Louis. We don't see any Tech 2 mass extractors for Chop Suey. Chop Suey getting a cruise missile launcher in the middle. There's one disadvantage about having all these point defenses in the middle. If you get Tech 1 artillery up on top, it will be able to shoot, but the point defenses will start shooting the front of this hill. So Sir Louis might be able to use the terrain to his advantage to rain hell down on Chop Suey. Successful raid here with tanks for Chop Suey on the bottom. We do see some Tech 2 tanks now. The pillar is going to try to hold down the back door. Should be able to do it successfully. A dead mass extractor. A response from Sir Louis. Actually pulling most of his units back. More Tech 2 point defenses, so multiple Tech 2 point defenses. Be very difficult to break. This is exactly what's happening here. Here we're seeing point defenses attacking the side of the hill. Cruise missile launcher is finished for Chop Suey, but he does not want to get a little much closer here. So far still dead even, but now with these Tech 2 tanks for Sir Louis, they might be able to make progress on the bottom. No Tech 2 land for Chop Suey. His entire Tech 2 arsenal is in his ACU. That is a big advantage for Sir Louis. Sir Louis now getting an upgrade. And now Tech 2 versus Tech 1. Pillars, a very good health, but they kind of overestimated themselves there. Some nice chunks of mass now for Chop Suey. But now Tech 2 tanks through the top as well. Should be able to take on these tanks. Cruise missiles. TMD, 2 TMDs for Sir Louis. So this cruise missile launcher is basically a nice expensive chunk of unit with these TMDs in the middle. A shield now coming up for Sir Louis here, coming up minute 20. Have a very nice force here from Chop Suey, but Tech 1, Tech 2 force should be able to defend on the bottom. And on the top we see these pillars. This will actually be quite even, but I think there's too many units against 2 tanks. So perhaps a bit of a stalemate. We'll see how quickly this escalates. We've got to say there is an advantage for Sir Louis with a better eco. He has been quietly teching. I've got to say this is a questionable move here with this cruise missile launcher. Very easily defended with TMD, of course, on such a small map. Push from Sir Louis. Together with the shields, you gotta respect that. Chop Suey getting an upgrade. Not really sure what it's gonna be. The gun, so now he's got the gun as well in the middle. He's gonna get some Tech 2 power. This Tech 2 force, not much that the Tech 1 tanks can do against a force like this. Quite devastating. Of course, the shields just give such a huge advantage. This is just too many pillars. But once again, Chop Suey moves in, forces a retreat. Maybe some questionable micro there from Sir Louis. Great stuff from Chop Suey. Very surprised how well those Tech 1 tanks did against Tech 2. But down the middle, really no chance for either player. wants to get this tech to power, but still very questionable place for Chop Suey to build that. Very vulnerable, as long as Chop Suey doesn't lose. And also, why doesn't Sir Louis put a bunch of artillery right there? Rain hell down on Chop Suey. That's also very strange. It looks like Chop Suey now moving down the bottom. Meanwhile, we are seeing it going. Sir Louis going to Tech 3, getting Tech to power of his own. It looks like he's got Tech 2 on his ACU as well. You can tell by the arm, side arm, that's it's been upgraded. Similar to what Chop Suey has as well. And now finally taking one of his, actually going to Tech 3. He's got a Tech 3 factory. Meanwhile, there's an attack, Tech 1, but Tech 2 point defenses here at the back door, and this Tech 1 force will have to respect that. Still free rocks for Sir Louis. Bit of a force now on top for Chop Suey. He might choose to raid, but Tech 2 point defenses here as well for Sir Louis. Here in minute 25. Air is still Tech 1, not much since the beginning of the game. But both players now going with Tech 3 land, so that's going to be the next stage. Looks like Sir Louis actually paused this Tech 3 land upgrade to do a little more teching, which means now they're basically dead even on how far. Now actually Chop Suey a little ahead. Chop Suey also took a couple of his mass structures to Tech 2. Successful cruise missile from Chop Suey. And some engineers getting pre-mass. And even more build capacity now in the Tech 3 factory. Transports for Sir Louis. That could be interesting, getting loaded up with a bunch of artillery. Expect to see those get dropped off somewhere in Chop Suey's base. See interceptors for Sir Louis, not many interceptors at all. For Chop Suey, minimal power here at 26, just a Tech 2 power. And here come the Perseus. Here come Titans. So we're seeing a difference in opinion. Sir Louis going with Titans, maybe because he sees all this massive Tech 1 forces, and Chop Suey going with Perseus. Perseus better against Tech 2, Tech 3, and as well as the ACU. Unless the ACU overcharges you. That was a nice snipe of a point defense, but TMD should put an end to that. And here comes the drop from Sir Louis. This is what you call way off map, but looks like it has been spotted on such a small map with a radar anywhere in the middle. You will be able to see it. So gotta say, this is a questionable tactics here from Sir Louis. He is beginning to lose. Lost a couple of those transports. A response from Chop Suey. So with proper radar, he should be able to minimize this. But now this is interesting. Titans, 4 Titans and pillars going down the bottom side. We're going to see Titans and pillars versus Tech 1, and this time these hero Tech 1 units from Chop Suey are going to suffer a terrible fate against the Tech 3 force. We do see some more Perseus coming in. So here come the Titans together with the pillars, a full retreat for Chop Suey. And now once again Chop Suey goes in. Sir Louis actually retreating against the Tech 1 force. That is crazy. And through the middle, Percy's moving through, trying to knock down the shield, take out the shield. Very good stuff, but Percy's as well for Sir Louis. Couple of really nice wrecks. So a good attack from the Percy's, but a Percy from Sir Louis in a very good position to play defense. Now the Titans together with the Percy are going to keep on demolishing these units for Chop Suey, which are not being microed currently. And they're going to get a lot of kills, and this should be the end for Chop Suey here up on top. But I gotta say, Chop Suey's Tech 1 units are ridiculously good. but they're not that good. 14 kills for the Percy. Basically one shot, one kill for that unit. On top, a nice force. For Chop Suey decided not to attack. There was some tech 2-point defense, making that very difficult. 17 kills for the Percys. And actually most of the pillars have been destroyed, but all the tech 3 units still alive. Very much veterans scouting here from Sir Louis. We've seen Chop Suey's base isn't going to be in danger. Chop Suey responds with his ACU, overcharges a couple of those Titans. It's a good defense. You got to respect the ACU. Sir Louis in the middle with a couple Percys. Might be thinking up on this middle base, and we should be seeing artillery now. Tech 3 arty. One thing we didn't see in this game was mobile missile launchers. I'm very surprised. Both players choosing to go to Tech 3 right away. And now with this arty, it means this base is going to disappear very soon. It's a whole bunch of missiles, 5 missiles there, are going to be wasted. That's a big loss there for Chop Suey. Chop Suey taking the sides. ACU for Chop Suey going on the sides. He's going to get himself a little reclaim. And Chop Suey, realizing he has lost the middle, has thrown in the towel. A bit disappointing, I guess. But looking at this, he really didn't have a chance. Superior Tech 3 force from Sir Louis took out all of his defense. Was ready to roll through the middle. But still, probably should have kept fighting a little longer. And I think the difference was that Sir Louis, this entire game, was attacking, while Chop Suey was attacking. So better eco for Sir Louis wins, even though Sir Louis still hasn't reclaimed his units here. So hopefully people enjoy this one.